Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Larry and Karen Wilson, who are the coordinators for the Bardstown Middle School Speech and Drama Club. And we have some students here, too, that we're going to get to see in just a minute who are part of the club. But first, we want to talk a little bit about the Speech and Drama Club out at Bardstown Middle School. And Larry and Karen, you are the coordinators for that, right?
Yes, we are.
You've been doing this for a year so far?
1 year.
How's it going?
It is going absolutely wonderful. The kids are great to work with.
Now, you have, almost 40 kids that are part of this program, right?
Yes, we do. The program originally started with about 4, and each year the numbers are increasing, and we're up to almost 40 this year.
That's fantastic. Now, how did you two get involved in this?
It started last year. I went on a competition with the group and actually assisted the coach from last year and kind of fell in love with it and decided when she resigned that we would take it over, and it's just been a wonderful experience.
Now, we talked about speech and drama. There are a couple different parts of that, right?
Yes, there are actually 12 different categories, and the students will do anything from radio broadcasting to acting to improv, and some actually write and give speeches.
Okay, great. And it's all kind of going for some competitions, right?
Yes, they perform in about 6 competitions each year, and then once they qualify, they go to regionals, and then they have state competition at the end of March.
Now, this is a school club, but you don't actually get a lot of funding from the school, so you have to do a lot of fundraising, right?
We've been working actually since June. When school let out this past school year, we've been working on it since then. We've got a big 5K run in October the 18th that we're going to be trying to do, and I think you're going to be talking about that as well. Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about that and how you can be part of that run, but also you can contribute. Even if you're not going to be part of the run, you can just make a donation, right?
Absolutely. Just send it to Bardstown Middle School.
And it goes to the Speech and Drama Club. And as I said, we have 4 students here that are going to be doing some little excerpts of some of the stuff that they've been working on, right?
Yes.
So how long have they been working on some of these different little programs they're going to show for us?
The pieces that they have been working on, they've been working on since about June.
Okay.
And through that, they have to select the piece, they have to do the research, then they have to memorize it, and then they have to learn how to perform it.
Now, you meet once a week, is that correct?
Yeah, we practice once a week, usually every Wednesday, and the students practice not only with us but also at home as well. I mean, they have to put a lot of time and effort into this.
Okay. Now, it's for the middle school, so we have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, right?
6th, 7th, and 8th grade, but we also did recruit 5 5th graders this year.
Okay, fantastic. So getting them started young, right?
Starting them young, build the program.
Fantastic. All right, again, I'm talking with Larry and Karen. We're going to get a chance to see some of these students perform some of their pieces and find out how they got involved as well. I'm here now with Jack Downs, who is the elder statesman of our group here. We have 4 students, but you've been involved the longest, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, how long have you been involved with the program?
3 years.
And when did you first get involved?
In 6th grade, I thought it'd be a really good opportunity, and I love to just act and perform. And I started doing drama things in elementary school, so I thought this would be perfect.
Okay, great. So you're actually going to do a recital for us here, right?
Yes.
And what is it going to be?
The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Since this is Halloween time, I thought that'd be perfect.
That's right. Now you're going to take a little excerpt from the middle you were saying for us, right?
Yes.
Now, how long have you been working on this?
I've been working on this piece since about July into August.
Okay. And you work you actually do it weekly with the moderators, but I'm sure you practice at home by yourself, right?
Practicing at home is one of the biggest parts because you just can't practice at school and memorize it all.
So for your competition, are you going to do this at the competition?
Yes.
Do you have to have it memorized?
You don't have to have everything memorized, but they want a lot of it memorized. You can look down at your book if you need to, but they want a lot of it memorized, so it's a better performance.
Okay. And also, what are they looking for when you're? 'Cause I assume, have you been to competitions? This will be your 3rd year now, right? Do you know what they're looking for?
They're looking for good stage presence and good memorization, and you can show that you can do the piece proficiently and that you have confidence on stage and you're not all nervous.
Okay. So you're getting good at this, right?
I hope so.
Good, very good. Are you going to continue in high school?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so we're going to get a chance to see Jack here do an excerpt from The Raven.
Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again, I heard a tapping, something a little bit louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something upon my window lattice. Let me see what threat is, and what this mystery explore. Let my heart be still for one moment, and this mystery explore. 'Twas the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, with a many a flirt and flutter, and there stepped a stately raven, of the stately days of yore. Not the least obedient made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with the mind of a lord or lady perched upon a palace bus of palace, just above my chamber door, he perched, and he sat, and nothing more.
And that was Jack with The Raven. Did a wonderful job there. I have with me now Gabby Abel, and you are what year?
I'm in 7th grade.
Okay, and so how long have you been involved with the speech club?
I did it in 6th grade, so about a year.
Okay, fantastic. Now you did a competition already then, right?
Yes, multiple.
Okay, what did you do in your competition?
I did poetry last year, but this year I'm doing poetry, broadcasting, and duo acting.
Wow, so you got a whole lot going on there.
Yep.
Now with the broadcasting, you actually had to do a little piece like it would be on the radio, right?
Yes.
Now what did you do for that? Was it a news piece or a commercial or what?
Well, like it's a news piece in the beginning, and then you have to do a commercial in between. Yeah.
So since you have all these different elements, can you tell a big difference among them? Like when you're doing radio, what kind of difference do you do than when you're doing a speech or a poem?
When I'm doing radio, I try to sound more like interactive and more awake. And when I'm doing other pieces, I sound just kind of plain, I guess.
And then with the acting, you had to take on a different persona too, right? Because you have to be somebody different sometimes, right?
Yes.
So which element do you like the best? What do you find the easiest? Let's go there, maybe.
I find poetry the easiest.
Okay. What do you find the hardest?
The hardest, I'd probably find duo acting because you don't have a script to read off of if you need a line or something, but I mean, that's okay.
So do you memorize the pieces that you've done with the competition?
Yes, you memorize any pieces that you have, but if you have poetry or prose, then you can look off your pieces if you need some help.
Okay, great. So what are you going to be doing for us today?
I'm doing Daddy's Day by Forse.
And that is a poem, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and did you do this in competition? Have you done this in competition?
I'm doing this in competition.
You're going to be doing it?
Yes.
And when is that competition?
November 8th.
Well, good luck. Great. So we're going to get Daddy's Day, right?
Yes.
And this is Gabby Abel.
Fatherly figures are an important part of a child's life. It's just that they have somebody to protect them and, of course, have fun with. But if that figure isn't there, then they can't do all the fun stuff, like Daddy's Day by Forse. Her hair was up in a ponytail, her favorite dress tied with a bow. Today was Daddy's Day at school, and she couldn't wait to go. But her mama tried to tell her that she should probably stay home. Why, the kids might not understand if she went to school alone. But she was not afraid. She knew just what to say. What to tell her classmates? Why, he wasn't there that day. So her mother worried for her face to stay alone. That's why, once again, she tried to keep her daughter home. But the little girl went to school, eager to tell them all about Dad she never sees. A dad never calls. There were daddies along the wall and back for everyone to meet, kids squirming impatiently, anxious in their seats. One by one, the teacher called a student from the class to introduce her daddy, as seconds slowly passed. At last, the teacher called her name. Every child turned and stared, all searching for a man who just wasn't there. "Where's her dad at?" she heard a boy call out. "She probably doesn't have one," another student dared to shout. And from somewhere in the back, she heard her daddy say, "Looks like another deadbeat dad, too busy to waste his day." The words did not offend her, as she smiled up at her mom, looked back at her teacher, who told her to go on. And with hands behind her back, slowly she began to speak. And out of the mouth of a child came words incredibly unique. "My daddy couldn't be here today because he lives so far away, but I know he wishes he could be, since this is such a special day. And though you cannot meet him, I wanted you to know all about my daddy and how much he loves me so. He loved to tell me stories. He taught me how to ride bike. He surprised me with red roses and taught me how to fly a kite. We used to share food Sundays and ice cream in a cone. And though you cannot meet him, I am not standing here alone, because my daddy's always with me, even though we are apart. I know because he told me he'll forever be in my heart." With that, her little hand reached up and lay across her chest, feeling her own heartbeat beneath her favorite dress. And somewhere in the crowd, her mother stood in tears, watching her little girl who was wise beyond her years. For she stood up for the love of a man not in her life, doing what was best for her, doing what was right. When she dropped her hand back down and stared straight into the crowd, she spoke with a voice so soft, but the message clear and loud. I love my daddy very much. He's my shining star, and if he could, he'd be here. But heaven's just too far, and I know he wishes he could be, since this is such a special day.
And we just had Gabby Abel, and that was a wonderful poem that she did. And right now I have with me Hannah Waldridge, who's another one of the students. What year are you?
This is my second year.
Okay, so you're in the 7th grade?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now what kind of elements do you work with?
I do dual acting and interpretive lit.
Now tell us, what was the second one?
Interpretive lit is short for interpretation of literature.
Okay, so what kind of pieces have you done with that?
This is my first year doing it, and my piece is Regina Flechter Wins the Science Fair.
Okay, so when you do with that, what do you do? Like you interpret it how? Acting out or reading it or?
There's several people in the play, and you kind of like act like you're more than one person throughout the piece.
Okay, that's interesting. So it sounds kind of like you'd be doing like a book on tape, where you're doing all the different characters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be doing that for the competition?
Yes.
Okay, how long is the piece?
It's about 10 minutes.
Okay, and what kind of story is it for us?
It's supposed to be humorous and kind of dramatic.
Okay, so you get to kind of do all your different elements there, right? And the other one you said is what kind of acting?
Duo acting.
Okay, so you have a partner that you do it with, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what's her name?
Addison Haynes.
Okay, and what is that piece that you do?
Bedtime Story by Peg Ratliff.
Okay, tell us a little about that piece.
It's about a mom and a daughter, and the daughter is like a hyper 4-year-old, and they try to go throughout a bedtime story, but she keeps interrupting her mom, and so it goes along that storyline.
And which one do you play?
I played the mom.
Okay, so you're the mom. So you keep getting interrupted, right?
Yes.
Now, how long is that piece?
It's about 10 minutes also.
Okay, so is there a timed element to the competitions?
Yes, it can't go over like 10 minutes.
Okay.
If you do, you get points counted off.
Okay, so you have to make sure you keep it within a certain time frame there, or else you can be disqualified, right?
Yes.
Now, you said this is your second year, so did you go into competition last year?
Yes.
And what did you do then?
I did a lot of each. I did prose, poetry, and duo acting.
Okay. So what's been your favorite element? So you've done prose, poetry, duo acting, and then this. So you have 4 different elements that you've done now, right?
Yes.
Okay, what's been your favorite one?
Duo acting.
Okay, why do you think that is?
I think it is because if like you mess up, you have a partner there who can like kind of save you and make it go along the line.
So is it harder though too because you have to rely on somebody else?
It's kind of harder, but in a way it's easier because if you mess up, then they'll help you. If they mess up, then they'll help you.
Okay. Now, how long have you been practicing this piece with your partner?
Since the beginning of school.
And did you two decide to be partners, or did you get like hooked up together by your teachers, or how'd that work out?
Well, I originally had a different partner, but then something came up and he couldn't compete. And so I got to choose the partner that I wanted, and so I chose her.
So is the 4-year-old a boy or girl?
It's a girl.
Okay. Very good. Again, this is Hannah Waldridge, and she's been involved with the program for 2 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we have our 4th student. It's Carly Hall, and you have been involved. You're in the 7th grade as well, right?
Yes.
So you've done this for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And what different elements have you been involved with?
I've done duo acting and prose.
And which one is your favorite?
Duo acting.
And what was the piece that you did for the duo acting?
Last year or this year?
Oh, you're doing one this year and you did one last year. Okay, well, tell us about it.
Last year I did a piece called Flight by Peg Ratliff, and then this year I'm doing a piece called A Day in the Life of an Average High School Thespian.
Okay, very good. Now, for these pieces, do you pick them yourself or does your teacher help you? How does that come about?
You get to pick them, but the teachers help you if you can't figure out one that you really like.
And did you get like some books, or how did you find out about these pieces? How did you stumble upon these two?
I just looked up on the internet and in the books we've already had.
Oh, good. Very good. Have you seen them performed by anybody else when you were in competition?
Yeah, I saw the thespian one last year, and I really liked it, so I wanted to do it this year.
Fantastic. Now, that's going to be in November, right, that you're going to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, so when you do this piece in November, I think there were like 5 or 6 competitions, right, during the year. Do you do it the same one at every competition, or do you do something different throughout the year?
You do the same one usually.
Okay, very good. So by the time you're all done, you're going to be fantastic, right? Even better than you already are, right?
Hopefully.
Very good. Now, today, what are you going to do for us?
A prose piece called The Note by Blaise Pascal. When I was in fifth grade, I fell in love. Real love. For the very first time. It only took about a week into the school year before it actually happened, but I was completely head over heels for a beautiful boy named Mike Daniels. No one ever called him just Mike. It was always 2 words. Mike Daniels. Blonde hair that stuck up in every direction and blue eyes that crinkled in the corner we laughed. Visions of Mike Daniels occupy my every dream.
So they are the students that are involved with the speech and drama class over at Bardstown Middle School, and it's a club, it's after schools, right, that you're doing this, and we need to raise some money so they can keep doing this program. We have again with us Larry and Karen Wilson, who are the coordinators for the program, and you're having a race coming up in October, right?
Yes, October the 18th, we're having a 5K run in Bardstown.
Okay. Tell us a little about how people can get involved in this.
They can register at the school. They can actually pick up a registration form at the school or on active.com. Either way.
Okay, active.com and look for the race.
Yes.
Race. Now, it's going to be the date and time again?
October the 18th at 8 o'clock. That's when the race starts.
Okay. In the morning or at night?
Morning.
Morning, very good. Yeah. Okay, and it's a 5K throughout downtown?
Yeah, through the streets of Bardstown. I think it starts, on 4th Street and ends up on 5th Street. Yes.
Okay, great. So you can take part in that. And obviously you can be a runner, but you can also be a sponsor. If there's different businesses out there who are interested in taking part, they can still do that, right?
Most definitely. We've got several sponsors, but we always are looking for more, so that would be great. It'd be wonderful, yes.
We were talking beforehand that it takes a lot of money just because you have to get buses to take all these students, and it's great that there's almost 40 students, but that means might be a bus or 2 they have to be involved. You have to take judges. There's lots involved with this, so doing the fundraising is an important element, right?
Yes. The more money, the better. Yeah, we have to fundraise from the beginning of the school year to the end usually, and yeah, the more money, the better, yes.
Yes. And can you move up here for a second when they ask it right there? That's good. Now, you say you have a whole bunch of different businesses that are involved and different paperwork they have to do too, right?
Yes, there is a lot of paperwork that goes with it, just within the school itself, to make sure everything is documented properly. And then we send documentation to the businesses. And right now we have probably about 40 sponsors, but we are in desperate need of as many sponsors as possible to make this a huge event.
Great. Is this the first year for this event?
It is. First annual, and hopefully for many, many more.
Great. It's a great kickoff for this great program, the Bardstown Middle School Speech and Drama. You're also doing, I want to quickly talk about another event that you have coming up as well, right?
Yeah, this coming Saturday we're doing a yard sale, bake sale right in front of the high school at Bardstown, and hopefully we'll get a lot of people come out to that as well, yes.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Again, these are some of the students that are involved with the Bardstown Middle School Speech and Drama Club. They did a great job. Thank you very much for sharing your talent there. We really appreciate it. And we'll be interested in see how they do in November, because that'll be their first competition, right?
Hopefully, though, we will, yes.
Yes, we'll have to get an update and see how they all do. And if you're interested in making a donation, you can contact Larry or Karen Wilson at Bardstown Middle School. They'll be happy to take that and get it passed on, and then take part in their race coming up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's been Gary White for Central Kentucky Television.